Alright, so we'll do a little bit more problem solving here. So again, the first thing I want to do is just identify what I know. So let's read the problem. An arithmetic sequence has the fifth term of 38. So that means t sub 5 is equal to 38. The fifth term has a value of 38, and the ninth term that is equal to 26. So t sub 9 is equal to 26. Find the first four terms. So if I think about what I don't know A, and I don't know D. If I knew either of those, I could probably start to solve this problem. So an important step for me here is going to be the problem solving, and by doing that to help myself with the diagram. So I'm going to do again the term number and the term value. So n on top, t on bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now you could just put in the ones that you need, but just so you see everything that's going on here, I'll include all of them. So t sub 5, or the fifth term, has a value of 38. So in the fifth term spot, I'm going to write 38. And in the ninth term spot, I'm going to write 26. So I notice here that my d should probably be negative, because I'm going to go down from 38 to 26. So what I need to figure out, again, like we did in one of these earlier problems, was how much did I decrease by? And how many steps did it take? So how much did I decrease by? Well, let's figure this out. I'm going 26 minus 38, and you can see here that I have decreased by 12, and that's a negative 12 because I've gone down by 12, right? So I'm decreasing by 12 steps between 12 total between 38 and 26, right? So it should be negative because I've gone down, and now I need to figure out how many steps have I taken. So that's 5, so going 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Another way to look at that would be 9 minus 5 would get you 4 steps. So again, I want to know what's the total I've decreased by, which is negative 12, and how many steps did I do that in? I did that in 4 steps. So now I need to break 12 into 4 equal steps. So here we're going to break negative 12 into 4 steps. So to do that, I'm going to go negative 12 divided by 4, and we get negative 3, which is equal to my d. So I know that each time I'm going to go down by 3. Okay, so now that I know I'm going down by 3, I can work to try to figure out what other bits I'm missing. So the d here is negative 3, and if I knew what a was, I'd be in good shape. So you can work backwards because the numbers here in the sequence, we're only at the fifth term, but just so you can see how to do this if you were given much different or much bigger terms in the sequence. Let's take a look at our formula again. So our formula goes t sub n is equal to a plus bracket n minus 1 times d. So we're going to use this. And in order to use it, we're going to pick one of these pairs. You can either do 9 and 26 or 5 and 38. And I'm going to pick 5 and 38. So when you've got these in the table, we can use them. So for this pair of numbers, I know a value of n is equal to 5, and I know that t is equal to 38. So in my formula, I can put in t of 38, because that's the fifth term, it has a value of 38, is equal to a, which is something I don't know, plus n, in this case, which is 5, minus 1 times d, which was negative 3. And again, using your calculator, going into solver, let's type in what we see. So we see 38 is equal to something you don't know, plus here I'm just going to do 4 because it's less stuff to type. You could do bracket 5 minus 1, but that's just 4, times a negative 3. And don't forget, you have to hit solve to get your answer. And here, solving, I see that x is equal to 50. In this case, that means a is equal to 50. So your first term is 50, you can write that in, and you know that you're decreasing by 3 each time. So if you needed to figure that out, again, you could always go back to this and start with 50 minus 3. Oops. 50 minus 3 is 47 minus 3. It's 44 minus 3 is 41, etc. And you can figure out what it is. So again, here we're going to go minus 3 for each of these. You get 47. Minus 3 again would be 44. Then you get 41. So the first 4 terms in the sequence would be 50, 47, 44, and 41. So again, what I did to problem solve this question was that I looked to see what did I know that the 5th term and the 9th term I was given values for. So if I put those into a diagram, I can help figure out what I don't know, which is that I didn't know the first term and I didn't know the common difference. So the common difference was the first thing that I wanted to find, and I did that by seeing, well, okay, how much did I decrease by? I went from 38 to 26. That was going down by 12, so negative 12. And I did that in 4 equal steps. So I'm going to break negative 12 into 4 equal steps, and I get negative 3 as my d. And once you know that, use your formula and plug in the values that you know, again using a pair. So circle a pair here. That gives you the n and the t. So t is equal to 38, n is equal to 5, your d was negative 3. Putting it into solver, you get your first term as 50, and then you can use d to figure out the rest of the sequence.